Hey everyone, this is Derek, and in this video we're looking at the product rule, which is going to be our second kind of major rule for differentiation. So we saw the power rule in the last section. This section will be product rule and quotient rule. And so here it is. If I have two things multiplying, f times g, and I want to find the derivative, I do derivative of f times the g, and then add to that f times the derivative of g. Sometimes you'll see these written with u's and v's. I think in our book it actually does use u's and v's. I'm going to use f's and g's as much as I can, just because my u's and v's look like the exact same thing in my bad handwriting. So that's why I'm changing the notation a tiny bit. So let me show you how the product rule works. So here we have like the product of these two things. So something I could do, and I could totally dodge the product rule, and a lot of times this is easier, is I could just FOIL and then do the same thing as the power rule in the last section. So that would work. Sometimes it's really not as simple as just foiling, so then the product rule is going to be really useful. So I'm going to let this one be f and this one be g. Again, I could call them u and v, same idea. And so now f is, I'm just going to make a little list here, 3x squared minus 7. So then f prime from the last section, power rule, 2 times 3 would make 6, take 1 off, and so that leaves x. And remember the constant drops out because that's an x to the 0, and 0 times 7 would go away. So then here's our g. So g is 2x plus 3. So g prime would be 1 times 2 makes 2, and then remember take 1 off, and x to the 0 is the invisible 1. So now we're going to go to find the derivative of this, to find y prime, or I could call it dy dx also. I'm going to go f prime times g plus f times g prime. So f prime times g. So if I have it listed like this, I kind of think it's the inner 2, and then the outer 2 is sort of how I remember it. And then that order is good. The order doesn't matter in the sense that it's addition, so if we put one over the other in front, it wouldn't matter. But this would be nice for quotient rule, because if we write it in this order, it's the same, except it's a minus. Okay, so now we're going to go y prime equals f prime, that's right here, 6x times g, that's right there. So 2x plus 3, and then we're going to add to that f times g prime, so that's those outside ones. I'm going to write it backwards because it looks better with the 2 in front, but same idea. And then this can just get cleaned up a little bit. So then y prime, or dy dx, would be the same. 12x squared, and then 18x plus 2 times 3 makes 6x squared, and then 2 times that minus 7 for minus 14. And just about there, a couple more like terms to collect, y prime. So 12 and 6, the x squared, so that's going to be 18x squared. So I'm just collecting my like terms. And then plus 18x and minus 14. So that is how the product rule works. And what we're going to end up seeing is the product rule mixed in with other rules here and there. So that was just one example of the product rule. Next video I'll do will be quotient rule, and it'll have a bunch more examples for that section.